My name is Ram Gopal Krishnan. I'm an infectious disease physician, and I'd just like to address a couple of issues about this new mutant virus, the form of COVID-19 you might have heard of. That's been quite a lot in the news recently. This virus, so-called B117, has actually been circulating in the UK for the last 2 to 3 months or so. And it's just this month that they've seen that it seems to have replaced the conventional COVID-19 virus in terms of circulation in and around London, Kent, and some other parts of the UK. And what's more, because of widespread international travel, this has hopped across on planes and has been found in many other countries worldwide, including Denmark, including Australia. And we don't know whether this is there in India or not. Certainly, people have come to India from the UK within the last 4 weeks and have tested positive for COVID. So currently, there are efforts going on by many national labs to see whether the people who have come from UK and have tested positive have the conventional SARS-CoV-2 or this mutant virus. Now, why are we so concerned about this mutant virus? Now, this virus has several mutations on a key structural protein, namely the spike protein. The spike protein is where the virus docks onto the cell surface, and that's where it attaches to the ACE2 receptor. And it turns out that the mutations in this spike protein actually make it latch on to the ACE2 receptor much more avidly. And therefore, this virus is thought to be perhaps about 70% more transmissible. In other words, maybe about 70% more people may get infected from person to person because of the ease of latching on to a different person's receptors in a different person's respiratory tract. So communicability may actually go up with this virus. So that is the reason why people are concerned. Can this lead to a so-called second wave? Now, we know that this virus is probably more communicable, but what about other aspects? Is it going to cause more severe disease? Is it going to be resistant to the antiviral treatments that we have today? And most importantly, will vaccines work against this virus, against this new mutant virus? Now, we don't know the answers exactly for each of these questions, but most people think that the 2 to 3 mutations that you have in this virus are not going to change treatment aspects, severity aspects, or vaccine immunity aspects. Since the medications we use for COVID may act at perhaps different sites, for instance, RNA-dependent DNA polymerase with, say, remdesivir, the mutant in the spike protein mutation may not affect the efficacy of antivirals. Similarly, there's no reason to believe that disease will be more severe. We know that if you have COVID, roughly your chance of death is certainly less than 1%. And we don't think that that number will change because of this mutation. So people need not worry that they will have more severe disease because of this virus. Finally, what about vaccines? The vaccines we have currently available that are licensed for use, the so-called mRNA vaccines, actually work against many epitopes on that spike protein area. So it's not just the mutated area against which these vaccines work, it works against several non-mutated areas as well. So people think that vaccine-induced immunity will eliminate the mutant virus as well. So as we speak, many studies are going on by the makers of these vaccines to test their vaccines, both in vitro and in vivo, against the new mutant virus to see if the virus is neutralized. So as far as we know today, yes, it's a concern, especially for people who come from the UK. It may take hold in India. We don't know whether it will replace or cause a second wave. Certainly, it's probably more transmissible than the conventional SARS-CoV-2 virus. But don't worry about getting sicker. Don't worry that the medicines won't work. Certainly, continue to get vaccinated as and when vaccine comes to India. But it reinforces what we have always said about COVID. Masking, social distancing at least 2 meters away, avoidance of crowded indoor places, and hand hygiene. This is going to be even more critical in order to prevent this new vaccine, this new variant from taking root and spreading within India. Thank you.